Maybe the Nuggets didn't try to bring back Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. Welcome into your Denver Sports Daily for July 8th. Let's go.
Taking you through your morning headlines, it's Denver Sports Daily with Rachel Vigil.
Nuggets Nations, it was a bit of a heartbreak that KCP would not be returning back to the team that he won one of his championships with. Myself included, I was really sad that KCP walked off the court the way that he did for the final time. And we all thought that possibly the Nuggets were going to be bringing him back. They were able to match any offer that was given to him despite him becoming a free agent. And there were also rumors that that was the case. But KCP took to Instagram today before we get into all the numbers. And he talked about how he's got a special place in his heart. He said, "Denver, I have cherished every moment of wearing a Nuggets jersey. From the fans and your support to my teammates, your trust in me and our brotherhood and the unforgettable championship win in this amazing city. My family and I felt the love and we thank you. Excited for our next chapter. Hashtag thank you, Denver. Hashtag champions." Yes, it is a bit of a heartbreak that we do say goodbye to KCP, but he was welcomed by the Orlando Magic and their media over the holiday weekend and was asked, of course, about Denver possibly giving him an offer. Like I said, it was rumored that they possibly did. His wife went on Instagram a few days ago on a comment that was saying that there was offers, and she says false. So it led us to believe, okay, there is clearly some things going on behind the scenes. And well, KCP, of course, got asked about it, and here's his answer. Take a listen.
No, it took a while to think about it, I would say, to make my decision on if I'm going to leave or not, but there was no sense of me waiting to see if they was going to come back with an offer or offer me anything. But, my first priority is my family. I make sure we good, at any point, and just being able to be a part of this organization. They wanted me just as much as I wanted to be on this squad as well. So and that made it much easier to sign here too.
Everyone good?
Now, maybe it's my job to essentially sit down and try to decode a lot of the media stuff that is asked to players and the long pauses that they have when they've been asked questions. And the way he says was seeing if they were going to give me any sort of offer. There's a lot that I dive into when it comes to this, but I'm very curious your perspective. That answer from KCP, did you think that, yes, the Nuggets did offer him something, and then, of course, they got the Orlando Magic offer, and he was waiting to see if the Nuggets were going to offer anything else, or did you take it as they didn't offer him anything at all? I'm very curious how you guys are feeling, Nuggets Nation, because your opinion, of course, matters, which also matters on how you're feeling about Calvin Booth, as he is the GM, obviously, of the Denver Nuggets. So I feel like there's a lot to dive into this, but how big of a loss is KCP? Well, his leadership, definitely a major loss. His defensive abilities on the court, a major loss. It's going to be a bit of a bummer, but we'll see what the Nuggets are able to do when it comes to replacing Caldwell-Pope again. Now, they are, of course, trying to address their depth behind Nikola Jokic. That's no surprise at all. They needed that even last year. But they end up signing Dario Saric on Saturday to a two-year, $10.6 million deal, according to ESPN. Saric averaged 8 points, 4.4 rebounds, and 2.2 assists per game for the Golden State Warriors last season. He's also played in Philadelphia, Phoenix, Minnesota, and Oklahoma City in a career that started in 2016. He's listed as 6'10" and 225 pounds. Calvin Booth hadn't made any moves in free agency until this move, and it was causing a bit of a panic when it came to Nuggets Nation, as contracts have been dished out around the NBA for nearly a week. Of course, they lose KCP to Orlando. They shipped Reggie Jackson off to Charlotte, but this is the first free agent Booth has added this summer. They've lost a lot, but this was the first addition that they would be bringing on. It will be interesting to see how he looks, but of course, giving any help to Jokic is massive in any capacity. Let's be real. Another move that happened over the weekend is Vlatko Konkar will be back for year 6 in Denver, re-signing with the Nuggets on Saturday, according to Hoops Hype. So last Sunday, the Nuggets declined their option for the 2024-2025 season on the bench forward Vlatko Konkar, but days later, they end up bringing him back. And thanks to the unique quirk in the rules, Konkar was actually set to make less than the league minimum on the option to include his contract terms that he signed years ago. So with the declined option and the new deal signed, Denver will now now pay him more money based on the service, but also facing a smaller dollar amount against the salary cap and the tax, which obviously is going to be massive because they will be in the luxury tax most likely. So essentially, it did benefit both of them as they drew up the new deal. We know that Calvin Booth was watching Vlatko while he is recovering back from his ACL, and he was playing games over with Slovenia earlier this week. So yes, good news on that front to see what he's able to do, and happy to see Vlatko back out there being able to play some basketball. Now, I feel like a lot of people, this is where things are really going to start to get interesting because people want to know how the youngsters are going to look on the floor. And we're going to see it on Friday in Las Vegas for Summer League. We're going to see several players who need to step into bigger roles next season, as well as one key player's brother, which is going to be rather fun this coming week while we watch this. So rookie first-round pick Deron Holmes II will be joined by second-year players Jalen Pickett. A lot of people have been hyped on him, Hunter Tyson and Julian Strother, who will feature the Nuggets group. But also, they're going to have to find those two rotational players that are going to be coming out and hopefully really be able to help the Nuggets this season. They will have one more two-way roster spot open up, and that essentially allows a contract that allows players to bounce between the NBA and the G League, in case you did not know. But among those competing for the final spot will be former Kansas Jayhawk Parker Brown, the brother of Christian Brown. Yes, that is going to be really, really cool to see him also in a Nuggets jersey. And I'm sure that means we're going to see Christian most likely out there in Las Vegas. But can Parker possibly make that two-way contract? It would be really, really fun if that could be the case. So in case you are watching Summer League, those are just some names that you should definitely be on the lookout for to see how they are looking. Now, we will stay in the NBA, but we will head over to where history is being made because Klay Thompson is officially a Dallas Maverick, but it might be the most complicated trade in NBA history. We've known since last week that Thompson was going to go to the Mavs in a sign and trade, but this is an unprecedented 6-team deal that was not finalized until Saturday. The Mavs finally were able to tweet out, "Welcome, Klay Thompson." But here's how it gets broken down. So the Dallas Mavericks get Thompson and a 2025 second-round pick. The Golden State Warriors get Kyle Anderson and Buddy Hield. The Charlotte Hornets get Josh Green, Reggie Jackson, and 2 second-round picks. The Minnesota Timberwolves get a second-round pick and a second-round pick swap and cash. Then the Philadelphia 76ers get a 2031 second-round pick, and the Denver Nuggets get cash. It's the first 6-team trade in league history. And yes, that is a lot of stuff on that graphic that you just saw. Crazy, all for this to kind of come around with Klay Thompson being the center focal. Of course, Denver Nuggets getting the cash. We kind of already knew that in the sense when they had traded Reggie Jackson. We were like, why are you trading Reggie and 3 second-round picks? Like, make that make sense. And now it does as they get a little bit more cash, but they're involved in this super giant different trade as well. So first 6-team trade in league history. I'm sure that only means things are going to get crazier. But to the NBA we go. Let's go. These rookies are making headlines. So Caitlin Clark made WNBA history while leading the Fever to their biggest win of the season over the weekend. Clark posted the first ever triple-double by a WNBA rookie with 19 points, 13 assists, and 12 rebounds in Saturday's 83-78 win over the first-place Liberty. The Fever have won 6 of their last 9 games and have a 9-13 record. The 9-13 record obviously isn't super pretty, but we're seeing history still be made all over the place. We're also seeing it with the Chicago Sky because their rookie forward, Angel Reese, is making more WNBA history. The rookie star set a record once held by Chicago Hoops legend Candace Parker. Reese registered her 13 consecutive double-double during Sunday's game against the Seattle Storm, breaking the league's record for most consecutive 10-10 games. Reese had previously set the record for most double-doubles in a single season, but Sunday's performance landed her the league's all-time record, which is really, really cool. The number 7 overall pick in the 2024 WNBA draft is on a tear, leading the WNBA with 11.7 rebounds per game this season. She's also averaging 13.9 points, 1.9 assists, and 1.4 steals, and was named to the league's All-Star game roster. So a lot of people know the name Caitlin Clark, obviously, but Angel Reese is saying, no. Don't forget about me. I'm out here making moves, and that she is. So congratulations to both of those women. Obviously, incredible to be seeing history be made by this entire class, too. It's just really, really exciting. Now, we will go over to the training camp for the U.S. Olympic men's basketball team. which is underway now. But forward Kevin Durant, one of the core members of Team USA, has a minor calf strain, so he has been sidelined. So Durant missed the first 2 days of training camp, which began in Las Vegas this weekend. I can't imagine the heat and trying to do all of that. But if you want to go out to Las Vegas, this upcoming weekend is going to be the one, as we've got training camp for all of them. Plus, you got All-Star Summer League too. So it's just a lot going on over there. You probably see a couple NBA players. But head coach Steve Kerr told reporters on Sunday that resting Durant was done out of an abundance of caution and the injury is not considered serious. His injury status is day to day, but Anthony Edwards is kind of hoping that he might get a phone call at some point, when he says he sees himself as the main option for Team USA as they prepare to travel for the Olympics in Paris. In a new interview, Edwards explains, "I'm still the number one option. Y'all might look at it differently. I just go out there and be myself, shoot my shots, play defense. They've got to fit into play around me. That's how I feel." The rising star is also the youngest member of the team at just 22 years old. So now we'll head on over to the NFL for a little bit of sad news. Let's go. Minnesota Vikings cornerback Kyrie Jackson has been killed in a car accident, the team announced. Jackson was only 24 years old. The crash, which occurred early Saturday morning in Maryland, also claimed the lives of two of Jackson's high school teammates, AJ Linton, who went on to play for Penn State and Florida State, and Isaiah Hazel, who played for Maryland and Charlotte. Jackson was the Vikings' 108th overall pick in the fourth round of the 2024 NFL Draft after spending one season with the Ducks. Prior to that, he played under Nick Saban at Alabama for 2 seasons. We send our condolences to all of the families of these young men. All right, we will head on over now to MLB. Let's roll. For the sixth time in the last 9 seasons with the Major League Baseball All-Star Game, the Colorado Rockies will be represented by a third baseman. For so long, of course, that choice was Nolan Arenado, who made 5 straight All-Star games before the COVID-19 impacted the 2020 season and his eventual trade in 2021. But now that distinction belongs to Ryan McMahon, who was selected for his first All-Star game as a reserve on Sunday. This is obviously really exciting, and here are all of the past Rockies All-Star Game selections dating all the way back to 2020 or to 2010. And of course, there are some big names on that list. Troy Tulowitzki, obviously, so many know. You got Charlie Blackmon in there, DJ LeMahieu, Nolan Arenado, of course, like we mentioned. So plenty of good names, but obviously really, really cool to see Ryan McMahon be a part of this list now. So plenty of good stuff on this Monday, everybody. Okay. I see all of these comments, and I have actually not been able to see the interview yet. So if you did not know, I was gone. And if you don't know what I'm talking about the Val interview that came out on YouTube, apparently. And it's really sparked a lot of discussion. I'm planning to listen to it today. I was actually in Maine and New Hampshire for the 4th of July, and I had limited cell phone service. Like, I'm talking hardly anything. Even though it showed me a few bars, I couldn't get anything to load. So I'm really excited to be back and go and watch this entire Val interview. He was talking about how he was apparently injured and there's a lot of stuff. And it just doesn't really line up with some of the things we've been told about the Val situation. So we don't know if he's lying. Like, there's just a lot to dive into. So I promise that we will see. Yeah, the whole Val interview is fascinating. I'm really excited to go in to listen to that. That is part of my Monday to-do list. And we will see what ends up happening with Val. Like, sometimes you open your mouth and it can get you in a little bit more trouble than if you would have just kept your mouth closed. So we will see. But yes, we'll definitely be following up on this. I promise we're going to have a whole coffee break episode on it once I get to listening to this entire interview. So stay tuned to that. Body language says it all. Denver didn't offer anything. I believe his wife when it comes to KCP. The fact that if Denver didn't offer anything really does just break your heart a little bit. Like, you could have matched it. You could have give him the opportunity to possibly stay out here. But he did say, he's got to take care of his family. And I do believe that. A lot of these players, there's so much pressure on them because of the money that they're given to have to take care of this generation, the next generations, etc. So I'm sure that is a really hard choice that a lot of players do, in fact, have to make. But yeah, I just can't believe that they wouldn't have offered him anything. Like, maybe they offered him the bare minimum, but that just feels so wrong in so many ways. So we'll obviously probably never know, but I do find it rather fascinating that somebody in that office, somebody over there at Ball Arena that works for the Nuggets, wanted to make sure that it was known that they offered something to KCP. And when you work in this industry for a little bit, I'm not going to say I've been in it for forever, but I've definitely learned there are different people that speak and have different motives when it comes to a lot of different things. So somebody in there wants everyone in Nuggets Nation to know that they tried to offer KCP something, even if that may not be the case, because then they don't look like the bad guy. So we don't know who that could possibly be. And of course, that's just my opinion, but it seems like that could possibly be the case. We wish KCP the very, very best of luck, obviously, with the Orlando Magic. And we'll see his eventual return to the Mile High City. And I'm sure he will get a standing ovation from everybody here. But that is going to do it for our Monday. You guys, I appreciate you all. Hope you all had a wonderful holiday weekend. It's hard to believe that we are back at it again. I feel like those days just flied by. Hopefully everybody's livers are handling okay. We all know that those holiday weekends can be a little crazy, but we appreciate you. James Marilat will be on with me here in just a little bit for coffee break at 12 p.m. So make sure you come hang out with us. And then we'll be right back here at 10 a.m. tomorrow morning for another episode of Denver Sports Daily. Get back to work, everybody, and we'll see you later. Bye.